Hello everyone, welcome back to another Derail Valley tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to operate the S060-440 train. The S stands for steam, because this is very different from the DE2. The DE2 is a diesel engine with an electric transmission. This is a steam engine with a mechanical transmission. It's still automatic, so you don't have to worry about switching gears. You can read all the stats now if you pause the video. This is not a tutorial on how to play the game, per se. I might do another video on that. This is just how to operate this train. So you're going to want a few things you'd actually need a few things to operate this thing. You need an oiler, a lighter, and a shovel. I'll explain what each of them do in a moment. And before we even go inside of the train, we have to do a few things on the outside. So let's come here. So you see these little openings, these little containers? You want to open them up. There's two on the front, and there's one back here. And you want to take your oiler, and you want to fill them up with oil. This keeps the train lubricated, so it drives, or rides smoothly. So you need to make sure these are filled at least some. It's better the more they're filled up. And they're not just on that side, they're on this side too. With these two. You can get the oiler, the lighter, and the shovel at a shop. The oiler, as far as I know, does not run out of oil. So you only have to buy it once. It's cheap anyway. There we go. Now, come over to the right side of the train. And look here. See, this is the lubricator. So the meter on the left shows how much oil is in the train. How much it has stored. And the meter on the right shows how much is actually being used to lubricate the train. So that oil comes from these things you just filled up, which keeps it lubricated. So you want to hold left click on this until it fills all the way up. Then you want to come to the left side of the train and hop up. There's a little ladder here. There's two dials. There is a dynamo and a compressor. The compressor is used to, well, not used. You need to turn the compressor on by holding or by scrolling up on your scroll wheel. And what the compressor does is it allows steam to be, it allows the produced steam to be used throughout the whole train. The dynamo allows steam to funnel into the dynamo, and it uses steam to power everything electric. So that's like your electricity. And you'll hear it, not yet, but when we get the train started up, you'll hear some whirring sounds, some whizzing. And that means that that's on and working. That's all for the outside. Come inside. I'll just open this up, let some light in, and I'll go through each and everything and tell you what it does. First of all, this here is the parking brake. That's pretty easy. This is the coal chute. So you can see up here we have coal stored at the back because this is a steam engine. Steam engines require coal. I'll show you one more thing. So you go up here, see these latches? That's your water supply. It's kind of hard to see, but they're filled right now. That's where your water goes. These are your brakes. There's your train brake, which slows down the locomotive and the cars. The independent brake, which slows down just the locomotive. And your brake cutout. I kept calling it a cutoff last episode. That's besides the point. The string is your whistle. It won't do anything now because the train's not on. This switch is your cab light. You can open and close the windows if you want. This down here is the cylinder cock. So basically, this is pushed forward right now. When the train is on, you want to have it back like that. Pretty much whenever the train is on, you want to have it back. What that does is it pretty much releases excess steam that could risk that comes with risks. So if you're operating the train, you want to have that pulled back. There's your bell. Won't work right now because there's no steam. And there's your wiper switch. It turns on these two wipers and these two wipers. This here is your reverser. Or it's technically, no, that's not called the cutoff. I'm sorry. The cutoff is this thing. I'll explain more about that in a minute. This is your reverser. This is pretty much what direction you want to go. So say if it's in the middle, so it won't go anywhere. It's neutral. If you scroll down your scroll wheel, it goes back. And the further back you push it, the more force it will use to go backwards. And then forwards. That's basically like a gear stick. This gauge is your speedometer. That one is how much sand you have. This one is your chest pressure. So, the front of a train, this area is called the chest. It builds up pressure over time. And you need that pressure to move on, to move forward. But as you get going, that pressure will gradually lower. It naturally lowers so that it doesn't build up too high and explode the train. That is also what this is for, the cylinder cock. This one is your overall pressure. So this is how much pressure the steam is producing. You want to have this at least 9 bars. Fire temperature. That is the temperature of your fire and your coal furnace. Scroll up on your scroll wheel on this thing. It opens the coal furnace. We'll get into that more in a moment. This is the blower. When you open it by scrolling up on your scroll wheel, it channels more air into the firebox. It's a firebox, not a coal box. It channels more air into the firebox, making it hotter, creating more steam. Think of this as an extra power option, sort of. Over here, this is actually a gauge. It's a water gauge. Don't worry about these little dials. They're just for looks. So this is a water gauge. So water is very important in this train, because if this water is empty, the train will literally explode. Like the whole thing will explode into 1,000 pieces because there's a boiler. Okay? The heat from the firebox boils this water and creates the steam. That's how it creates the steam. But without water here, it's literally burning bits that are not supposed to be burnt. And it builds the pressure too high and it explodes. To fill this, you go to your injector here by scrolling up on your scroll wheel. You hear that? And look, it's slowly filling up. Now this doesn't have to be full. It definitely does not have to be empty. If it gets too full, you could end up drowning the train. If it's too empty, the train could explode. So you want it anywhere in between the bottom and the top. That's good for now. This one is your blowdown. Basically, all the blowdown does is it blows down extra water. So say if this is too full, you would open that. See? It's getting rid of the excess water, because that will start to go down. Slowly, but it does go down. That's not very important. I mean, everything in here is important, but that's not very... You're not going to be using that much. And over here is your headlights. It's pretty self-explanatory. Scrolling down does the rear lights. Scrolling up, it does the front lights. They're not on right now because the train's not on. Lastly are these two things. So here you have your coal dump. So whenever you're done operating the train, you will use up on your scroll wheel to drain the coal from the firebox, and then you can press down on your scroll wheel, or you can left click and hold it, and it will shut the fire off. So that's pretty much a shutdown. This is your damper. I have to be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure what this does. I'm pretty sure if it's raining or anything of that sort, you have this down. In normal conditions, all I know that it is that in normal conditions, you have it up. So, not too sure about that. I know this is a tutorial video, but things can be confusing. Oh, and lastly, this is your regulator. This is your throttle, pretty much. So I scroll open my scroll wheel, the more it opens. The more this is opened, the more steam will be pushed through the boiler, and the faster you'll go. It's pretty much your throttle. So, now that we've gone through everything, let's start it up. So the first thing you want to do is open the firebox and take your shovel. And you want to fill the firebox all the way with coal. As much as it'll go. That's it. And what I like to do is get more coal so that for the next time you need to fill it up, you have coal ready. Okay? And you're going to crouch down, take out your lighter, scroll down on your scroll wheel, and left click to turn it on. And then light the fire. Scroll up to turn it off. And then close the firebox. So you'll notice the fire temperature is immediately rising. And to have enough heat, the amount of heat you need to produce enough steam is 400 degrees Celsius. So you see we're already well past that. See, it's starting to burn. Let's go up here. Let's see. You can hear the compressor working. And the dynamo. Oops. Give it some time, you'll hear the dynamo start churning up. Let's turn the cab light on, which is not working. That should be working. Oh, you hear it now. See it? It's going and you can hear it. You can hear the buzzing. Now it should work. So you have to wait for the dynamo to light up. To fire up, I mean. Then let's go ahead and open the brake cutout by scrolling down on the scroll wheel. Let's just disengage the parking brake. All this banging is normal. That's what it's doing. It is moving the steam through the engine as we speak. Then point the reverser in the direction you want to go. So say forward. Make sure your cylinder cock is turned on. Open your regulator. There we go. Hear that banging? So you hear that banging. Look at the chest pressure. See that? Now we're moving. You've officially started up the S060-440 locomotive. Congratulations. The keybinds are the exact same. T and G for throttle, Y and H for the reverser, U and J for the train brake, I and K for the independent brake. Let's stop the train briefly. Look, our whistle will work now. You also have a bell you can turn on. Anyway, let's check the firebox. It's still pretty full, but we can give it some more coal. It takes quite a bit of coal in the for the starting process. To start it up, it takes quite a lot of coal. Okay. This train doesn't exactly turn on or turn off. It just burns or it doesn't burn. Check our temperature. Yep, our temperature's good. Water. We got some. We got enough. We could use some more though. You can fill the water up as you're going down the tracks. Now, let's disengage the brake. open the blowdown, the blower, sorry, that's the blowdown. Disengage that. And it's full throttle. Now with this train, you don't have to worry about slamming it in full throttle. You can do that as you please. Now the one thing is, we don't really have that much pressure, but it will get going. There we go. This train is not very well for hauling. It does terrible on hill climbs. It cannot climb a hill to save its life. It's not that great at hauling, but it's very good at moving stuff around the yard. So we're already about to max speed. Stop. Oop. That's the wrong one. See, even I forget this sometimes. As we're slowing down, let's throw it in reverse. That noise is okay. You don't want to do that as you're going really fast. Just make sure you're slowing down. All that does is changes the direction that the steam blows. Might be better to let that increase. I kind of forgot about that. It's fine. You saw it was still movable. Just if you want, you know, the higher this goes, the more power you're going to have. Oh, look at that. We used almost all of our water. See, if that got any lower, this would explode. May not explode immediately, but it would explode. And you have to make sure that it has enough coal and enough water, especially enough water. I can't emphasize that enough. That's pretty much it. We'll hit it in reverse and we'll go shut it down back at the yard. Let our water fill up. I'll get back to you when the water is filled more up. Alright, we have enough water. So, the reverser is in reverse. Make sure your cylinder cock is still open. Disengage the brake. Give some throttle. Now, if I do get any of this wrong, please feel free to correct me. I am just going off my own knowledge, and I'm giving you a tutorial on what I know. As far as I know, this is the way you do it. If I am doing it wrong, please feel free to correct me. I will not be offended. I'd like to be corrected so I can be given appropriate knowledge. Really ramp it up. The temperature is increasing because I turned on the blower. It sounds kind of maybe funny or frightening by the sound that it makes. Okay, we are moving. So now I'll show you how to shut the train down. So first thing we should do is turn on the parking brake. Secondly, you can close the cylinder cock. Put the reverser back to the neutral position. And let's open the firebox. You can hold left click and push it forward, or use your scroll wheel. Get all the coal out, and then it might take a few pumps, but it will eventually knock the fire out. It will also go out on its own. Shut that. Let's just go up here. Actually, just to make it better, we'll turn that off. Let's go up here. Yeah, you can really hear the dynamo now. Disengage the dynamo by holding down on your scroll wheel. Scrolling down, I mean. And turn off the compressor. Perfect. You have officially turned on, operated, driven, and successfully shut down the S060-440 steam engine. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. Consider subscribing if you want more of these videos. And if you have a comment with a question or maybe some feedback, feel free to let me know. Well, that's about it. Take care.